Clock in, clock in. Black gotta just walked in.
Shade some, nigga ain't gon' shade nothing. Take some, nigga ain't gon' take nothing.
Team Black gotta stand up, man.
Yo!
Right now we about to get right into another video with Pooh Shiesty. And this video is the real Menace of South Memphis. Boy. Now obviously we already know what we get into just by reading the name. I ain't know the boy was a menace, so this video is gonna surprise me a little piece. But one thing I do know is he's super hard when it comes to dropping heat. For sure, for sure. But no further to tell it, take a look at this video. Get your popcorn, get your chips, and let's get into this video with Pooh Shiesty. Not Winnie the Pooh. Pooh.
On the real, I gotta keep it so 100. I ain't never like you, cuz. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never like your I ain't never like you, cuz. You know I ain't like you.
But I did.
In the street, like, we ain't gonna talk about this.
Nah, I'm just bullshit though. But is he really talking to one of his ops on his live and letting him know why he don't like him?
You know?
Sign on the E-way and you know we bumping breaking news. BCMC2, bitch, I'm sliding, Mr. What to do. No, I ain't gonna do screw. I'm smiling when you drink the 2-3 with the jar like LeBron.
When I was hustling, I always was playing Memphis rappers. I felt like they had such an underground scene. That's what I gravitated to. Like the most gutter music is what I wanted to hear.
Police and prosecutors say Pooh Shiesty was part of the group that ended up in this parking lot that October afternoon where the shots flew, and it happened right across the street from the police department and town hall here in Bay Harbor Islands.
Hi, what's up everybody? Probably the most requested artist for me to make a video on right now is Pooh Shiesty. It's one of the biggest movements in rap and is coming out of Memphis, but for a lot of folks, it feels like he came out of nowhere. Last week, Shiesty was second only to Drake for the most streamed artist in the country. There's a reason everyone's drawn to him. Pooh Shiesty's crew, Choppa gang's gotta be one of the wildest in the industry, and the music reflects it. Doesn't matter how many billboards all over the country have his face on it. Doesn't matter he's signed to a major label deal with Gucci and Atlantic, selling $60K the first week on his debut album. Shiesty will still rob a dude in Miami who was trying to sell him weed and some Jordans, stick 2 shooters on the guy, sending him to the hospital, escape in a green McLaren, get arrested, bond out, and leave the state in a private jet.
Saying the two left the state in a private jet.
Who, they got the right guy?
See, Shiesty keeps his circle small. You basically gotta give your life to Choppa gang just to be around. Choppa gang Hank, he's locked up for an attempt murder, allegedly shot up a car and paralyzed the dude in a bad case of mistaken identity. Choppa Wop, he's down for a murder and 2 attempts. Even Shiesty's best bro, Big 30, who was signed to a deal way before Shiesty was, getting tens of millions of streams a month. He got booked 2 weeks before Shiesty did on felony drug charges in Alabama, got extradited back to Memphis for another pending case he was already fighting, made bond, and
Oh, these niggas is turned up. Boy, y'all is some menaces out here. But we not gonna act like we ain't see Lil bro only 5'4". That boy short as hell, you feel me? But I seen that.
Charges in Alabama, got extradited back to Memphis for another pending case he was already fighting, made bond, and released the song first day out. But most of the mainstream was not tuned in until Lil Durk and Shiesty came together to make the song Back in Blood. And while most fans were focused on Durk in the wake of the Quando and Vaughn situation, the entire city of Memphis was focused on Shiesty's verse. Because he wasn't just rapping, Shiesty was talking about a specific event that happened where he and 2 members of his crew went to a rival house in Memphis and robbed a bunch of guns from them. That's why in the lyrics he says, yeah, you know who took that shit from you, come get it back in blood. On the song, Shiesty's talking directly to them.
We ain't mad, Scott. We want you to see this face. You nigga know who the world did that to y'all. You nigga know.
The rival gangs called EBG, and them and Shiesty have had problems for many years locally in Memphis. EBG being from the north, Shiesty being from the south, it plays into this divide that's long existed in the city. But now the Back in Blood song is worldwide, hitting the number 8 spot on Billboard charts, getting 50 million views on YouTube in 1 month, forcing EBG, who aren't even rappers, to respond over the same Back in Blood beat.
Choppa gang.
Their remix got taken down a bunch of times, each time getting hundreds of thousands of views in days. So EBG dropped a second diss track, this one called Rumors. They even got Quando Rondo to make an appearance, taking collateral shots at Dirk just for being on the original song with Shiesty. Now, we're gonna get into all this. Right now, Memphis is like the gold rush for artists. Everybody's getting signed. And the reason is, Memphis has one of the rawest, most authentic cultures. But there's a lot more to it than good music and good barbecue. Part of the Bible Belt, with more churches than gas stations. On one hand, it's that southern hospitality, home-friendly folks who work hard to get by. But on the other hand, it's extreme violence, making Memphis the third most dangerous city in America. It's rural country, so practically everybody's tooled up, and folks have paramilitary weapons. In areas like the South or North Memphis, your life expectancy is 20 years shorter than other parts of the city.
Right now, in some neighborhoods in Memphis, families are sleeping on the floor to avoid being hit by gunfire from outside. For some, they live in a war zone.
For Pooh Shiesty, he's from the Cane Creek Apartments in South Memphis, just 15 minutes from Moneybag Yo's hood, the Walker Homes, not far from Young Dolph's neighborhood in Castalia, and black youngsters around the way too. Pooh Shiesty growing up was very much on that killer be killed energy. Let his boy Big 30 tell you, at age 11, Shiesty thought he was American gangster, getting arrested and expelled from middle school at the same time, forced to wear an ankle monitor. See, Shiesty followed in his pop's footsteps. Pooh's father was a known gangster and founder of the record label Mob Ties. In 2006, one of his artists, who went by the name Miscellaneous, got into a triple shooting at Yo Gotti's birthday bash. The club managers knew that Yo Gotti and Miscellaneous were beefing, and instead of canceling the event, they hired 35 security guards using 4 metal detectors to screen the crowd. It didn't work. That same year, Shiesty's father was convicted of being an accessory in the murder of a local female DJ, which put him on supervised parole. Even with the law breathing down his neck, his pops was still hustling for almost a year, bringing in money under the radar from a trap house on a street called Porter. The house fell on a dead end and looked like it had been abandoned. But little did Pooh's father know, Memphis police had been monitoring the spot for months. One day, his father was in there. They had the measuring cups by the stove, the digital scales on the kitchen counter. One of them had weed, the other had cocaine. Suddenly, there was a loud boom as the front door busted open, and cops bursted in, rushing apartment 3 that was just up the stairs. As the cops ran up, this 75-pound pit bull came sprinting around the corner and leaped at their necks, so the officers shot it 3 times before the dog retreated to the kitchen and later died. In the chaos, you could hear yelling, "Go, go, go," as people ran from apartment 3 to apartment 4, trying to escape. Glass shattered as folks jumped out the window, leaving Pooh's father in the kitchen, cornered by police. They told him to surrender, and he did, leaving the officers with 12.5 grams of coke, 8 pounds of kush, and $10,000 cash that they took from Pooh's father's left pocket. With his pops in and out doing Fed bids, Shiesty was running around a badass little kid, jumping people, finessing people. That's how he got the name Shiesty. And Memphis is a small world, everybody knows each other. Shiesty even went to Central High School with some of the people he's into it with right now, like the main rapper from EBG, E Jizzle. But Pooh's reputation began to travel. In high school, he expanded his circle, clicking up on some plans to get money by any means. Together with his childhood friend Big 30 from Whitehaven, Little Hank, Antwop, and a few others, they came up with the name Choppa Gang, and it stuck.
Choppa gang shit, cool, man.
Choppa gang shit.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. We ain't got a prop to crop out here. We real, we slug and shit. Nigga ain't gonna die.
We gonna come chop nigga whole block, street, whatever.
Within Choppa Gang, they have various members that come from...
We gonna come chop nigga whole block, street, whatever.
Within Choppa Gang, they have various members that come from big sets that are prominent in the area. What a lot of people don't know, Memphis has every single national gang and more. Is extremely active with his new trend towards hybrid gangs, smaller mobs, and cliques within the sets going renegade.
I think we knew that.
See where there was an older person running everything, but it's been changing a lot of these young kids with these offset groups. They're totally different.
It's a young nigga world. You feel me? You heard, man.
That seem to be particularly violent and need less and less of a reason to resort to shooting guns.
One story of a guy named White Grape, or White Boy Kenny, who went to Central High School with Pooh Shiesty and them, and was known for having girls lined up like a buffet. He was a member of Choppa Gang who got got initiated into the Grape Street Crips, known for having girls lined up like a buffet. He was a member of Choppa gang who got initiated into the Grape Street Crips. They beat the shit out of him, took a photo that went viral as he became an official Grape Street member. But one day, White Grape allegedly got his gun robbed from him, so Choppa gang had to cut ties with him, basically disowning him. Only for White Grape to catch a murder case months later after.
What y'all felt like they was doing with this boy? That was using this boy. He most definitely was the crash dummy. I'm knowing. Just look at his face. He was the one stealing all the candy from the store.
A deal went wrong and clients tried to pay him with counterfeit money, so he shot and killed one of them. Now, Choppa gang continued spreading their enterprise, planning bigger.
Never mind, I guess that boy was shooting niggas. Excuse me?
That brought more danger. Shiesty himself says before the age of 15, you're gonna lose a close friend in Memphis. Guaranteed someone close to you is gonna get killed. Around 2016, he lost his best friend Trey, which turned his heart cold. Pooh Shiesty vowed to live with no remorse from that day forward and be a menace to society. And after he graduated high school in 2018, Choppa gang had many streams of income flowing in, and they started using some of this money they were making to pay for studio time. It was one of those rare cases where the music blew up out the gate. They dropped their first song, Breaking News, near the end of 2018, and by 2019, they were buzzing. Shiesty's childhood friend Big Pooh got signed to fellow Memphis artist Moneybagg Yo. Meanwhile, Shiesty was still a free agent, dropping his singles every other week, racking in views. This caught the attention of Guap, who was in the middle of building his 1017 roster, looking for the grimiest artists he could find. Of course, Guap was the original slime. You remember hearing stories of a young Gucci Mane terrorizing the industry. Famously, the first time he met French Montana to do a song together, French paid him $5,000 and waited in the studio patiently while Gucci took the money and left out the back door.
Gucci didn't like French because the first time he went to the studio to do a song with him, he paid Gucci $5,000 to get on the feature, and he was just sitting in the studio. Gucci was going out the back door. He wasn't doing nothing. And I said, Gucci, you can't do nothing like that.
And that's the same energy Gucci saw in Pooh Shiesty. After hearing one song on YouTube, he hit up Pooh on IG to get the paperwork ready for a major label deal with Atlantic. Choppa gang was laughing to the bank. The industry fucked up and let some real gangsters in. Big Scar, who's also from South Memphis and just happens to be Pooh Shiesty's cousin, he's a founding member of a clique called Double R. There's been in a brutal war at home in Memphis for quite some time. And up until this point, Big Scar was strictly in the streets, handling business, and never really considered himself a rapper. Until one day, he actually blew up off a reaction video done by a YouTuber named Tommy Craze.
Bruh, shout out to Tommy Craze, man. He be blowing up a lot of artists. You feel me? I remember when he blew up Lil Loaded. And I'm just low-key finding out in this video, Tommy Craze blew up Big Scar too. That's what's up. Shout out to Tommy, bro. You feel me? He giving a lot of independent artists a chance.
Acted the Big Scar's first ever song when it had only 5 views in 9 hours.
Hold up. Big Scar, make a play. 5 views 9 hours ago. Man, that was so hard. Definitely co-sign this track. Big Scar, make a play. Go and check it out.
That song went on to do millions of views, and 2 months later, after Shiesty became a major label artist, and with only 2 songs ever published, his cousin Big Scar inked a deal with Gucci, making Choppa gang and their affiliates the single biggest movement coming out of the Mid-South. And with all this attention brought more drama to the city. Pooh Shiesty was living up to his name and began taking shots at another Memphis rapper named Big Boogie.
Where you at, Big Boogie? The Bullster. Where you at? Hey, Red Ron, I would get out there in the street with your gang, me by myself. The whole gang right now, today, in like 30 minutes, on live, all this shit. Cause why you say something back, cuz? You did that out of your fans, cuz. You let your fans boot your head up, cuz. You done cost yourself. You got shows and shit ahead of you, bro.
Boogie's a rising artist out of Fraser, which is the North super country. Seems like a good guy. According to Boogie, they never met a day in their life, but Shiesty claims when he pulled up in the North to see Boogie, it was a whole different story.
Oh, you been running for me, bro. You been running. You been running for me, bro. You know what happened in the North, bro, when I pulled up, came on your side, bro. You know what happened?
And Pooh is so petty, he even went as far as naming a strain of weed Red Rum after Big Boogie's crew, Red Rum, just so he could say that he's smoking on that Red Rum pack. And the bigger you get, the bigger the target you become in Memphis. Just a few days after he went back and forth with Shiesty on social media, Big Boogie's concert in Mississippi got shot up. It was the scene of a double murder. 50 shots in total were fired from 5 different guns, hitting Big Boogie's friend Jasmine, who was on stage with him, as she later died in Boogie's arms.
It's crazy.
Fast forward a few months later to November 6th. Durk and Pooh Shiesty linked up to drop the audio for the song Back in Blood. That's the same day where King Von passed away in Atlanta after an altercation with Quando Rondo outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge. Shiesty and Durk had already filmed the music video back in Chicago, but chose not to release it yet. This was in many ways the mainstream's introduction to Pooh Shiesty. A few more weeks went by and the song continued to climb the charts. Then randomly, at 6 in the morning on a Tuesday in December, Shiesty posts this cryptic warning to Facebook. Drop that song and you're not gonna live to see that baby get here. That's when New Year's came around, January 1st, 2021. A Memphis crew called EBG put out a remix to Back in Blood, going after Shiesty, responding to everything he said on the original track. They got Choppa Gang Killer, CGK, on their t-shirts. Pooh responded immediately, saying this had to be the worst move this gang ever made, and that he did 18 million views off of them before he even said their name. The very next day, Shiesty dropped the music video that he filmed with Durk back in Chicago, making Back in Blood the trending topic once again, shooting all the way up the Billboard rankings. EBG's remix was getting taken down left and right due to copyrights, so EBG's main rapper E Jizzle dropped another diss track called Rumors, which ran up in views quickly, hitting 1 million views in less than a week. Then, Jizzle was shot 3 times just days after this second diss track went live.
I bet I can't do this. I can't do this. Who this is? Who? I can't walk. Cool, boy.
3 bullets hit his arm, and after getting them removed, Jizzle was back on the block wearing a cast, just in time to drop his 3rd diss track called Paralyzed.
Hey, y'all shot the wrong arm.
To add to the unfortunate timing, Pooh Shiesty's brother, who had been on life support fighting for every breath, was pronounced dead just hours before EBG released this new diss. As it stands, the song has nearly 400,000 views in a week. EBG Jizzle went from a couple thousand followers to 50,000 almost overnight, and Memphis has pretty much been in a frenzy ever since.
Well, I appreciate y'all got the same thing that I got out of that, and boy, I ain't know Pooh was a menace like that. Boy, them boys is really stepping out there in Memphis. What the hell y'all got in the water? Not milk. I know that part, you feel me? I ain't know it was like that, but it's like that. You feel me? Y'all boys a little bit too hot out, so y'all definitely need milk. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. I'm about done with that. Clock out, Black got it. Just walked out.
Okay, I'm out here trying to get paid, but don't